The Lobsterist, authored by Dan Green, narration by Captive Desk. The Lobsterist. Preface. We call our book The Lobsterist. This is because it saves us a bit of time from saying the longer title that it was formerly known by. Lobster Original Beget Smart Thoughts, Earnest Writes, Intelligent Scientific Truth. In this book, you will read only facts and truths that are not only scientific in nature, but thoughtful. The earnest rights are all about morals and ethics. You will become enlightened when you read this book, and by the end, I hope you will be a lobsterist yourself. Sincerely, the editor. Inception, Chapter 1. About 13 billion years ago, all there was a speck of something. We don't know why it was there, but it was. Where was it has been a question for ages. The answer is that the speck can be said to be floating. But floating in what? We know that water has 2 parts oxygen and 1 part hydrogen. H2O, the stuff of life, the most plentiful chemicals found in our universe, and something that things can float in. Could it be possible that the speck was floating in water? Yes, not only is it possible, but it was. The speck was floating in water, and pressure from that water was there. The water and speck were all there were. Or was it? There seems that there was, in fact, more than this. Chapter 2. As strange as it is, scientists have speculated that string is what everything is made of, and we have seen that matter clumps itself into round, spherical objects more often than not. It should not surprise you, then, that there was a thing that was made of string and clumps of matter arranged in a way that today we would call spaghetti and meatballs, although we think that the thing had no way of knowing. It seems that it is possible that it could have. This creature flew around or swam around the great waters. We know it as the Great Flying Spaghetti Monster, or FSM for short. Of course, it was not really made out of spaghetti, and it was no way a monster. But our limited brains cannot comprehend what it was, so this idea must suffice. This great being swam around, but it was lonely, so it made the very first thing, a lobster. 2 pincers, a regal tail, a hard shell, whiskers, a thing of beauty and perfection. The lobster original swam in the great sea contently, but it was hungry, very hungry. The FSM was not too bright a creature, for the lobster realized it could eat it, and did one day. The FSM was no more. However, the lobster now grew in power, and it could now do what the FSM did, and it noticed the small speck and pinched it, and the speck started expanding quickly. Pushing the waters out of the way, the lobster teleported itself far away to watch and wait. The lobster original saw that the universe was devoid of lobsters and sent some chemicals around to land where they might land. The lobsters knew that this would start a chain reaction on at least one planet, and it did. That planet is ours, of course, but perhaps others as well. Only the lobster original knows for sure. And so we owe our existence to the lobster original, and we see and find lobsters in our oceans to this very day. Evolution brought us into being, just as the lobster original had known it would from the start. The lobster original cares more about lobsters than humans. Humans who eat lobsters are to be shunned. The only way to be forgiven of this crime is to never again eat lobsters, but instead live on a diet of only turtle meat and green tea, You may also drink water and eat wheat bread, but nothing else. This is the only way to be forgiven of eating of a lobster. Chapter 3. The lobster original deity does not issue commands to its creation. Rather, it has set out suggestions that it knows will help people live better lives. Here are some of those suggestions. Treat the ocean with respect. From it you came, into it you will return. Eat only what you need. Put back more than you eat. You are part of the cycle of life. You are connected to the planet. Treat it well. Be kind to others, or they will not be kind to you. Whoever is unkind, leave them alone. Exercise daily. Eat a balanced diet, but never eat lobster. Turtles are to be eaten once a month if possible. Ask questions. Accept who you are as you are. You are what nature made you. Be proud of your body. Your sexuality is your own to use how you wish. Kicking a turtle shell is fun. Singing "I'm a little teapot, short and stout" when in your underpants at midnight with no shirt on will give you a longer life. But only if you do it when people can see you doing it. There is always tomorrow. The world will be around a while, but you will not be. Be kind. When you go to the bathroom, it is okay to smell your own poop every now and then. Wash your hands frequently and use soap. Protect yourself from the sun. Watch out for falling rocks. Don't do things that will hurt you. Do your best. Don't cheat. If you never do illegal things, you will never have to worry about going to jail. Love as much as you can, as often as you can, and as many people as you can, for as long as you can. Have sex if you want to, but be careful and thoughtful to your partner and yourself. If you don't want to risk having a kid, don't have sex with the opposite gender. Chapter 4. Protect yourself from illness by education. Teach what you know. Learn every day. Learn something new every day. Turtles are dumb creatures. Laugh at them. Chew your food. Don't forget to brush. Shower or take a bath at least once a week. Learn to do CPR. Learn what to do to save someone from choking. Call for help, and help if you can when someone needs help. Keep your pets leashed. Spay or neuter your pets. Celebrate more. When you cry, know that it is okay. Turtles are just evil. Be a hero to someone else if you can be. Give money to people you like as long as you can afford to do so. Be wise with your money. Do good. Get money. You cannot outrun lightning. Stretch. Drugs should only be taken with a real medical doctor's prescription for them, and only used in the way you are instructed to use them. And if you have any questions, you should ask your doctor those questions. Stomp on a turtle if you want to, or ride it for fun. Don't inhale fire or anything on fire if you can help it. If you are sad, tell someone. It's okay to ask for help. It's not okay to try to make someone feel bad. Don't be a bully. If you see a bully, you can throw a turtle at them. Turtles are not to be treated with any respect at all. Use floss. Drink a full glass of water once a day. Water is awesome. Keep it clean. Chapter 5. The lobster original deity declares that you have what it calls earnest rights and wants you to enjoy those rights. Moreover, it wants you to know a few thoughts it has had. Ethics are the foundations of morals. Without them, morals are meaningless and pointless. Doing the right thing isn't always easy or possible, but try. If you have to choose between harming an animal or a person, harm the animal as long as it is not a lobster. Lobsters are sacred and should never ever be harmed ever. Don't take what does not belong to you. Be honest as possible. Don't be rude or mean. Accept yourself and others as they are. Differences are key to biological diversity and should be celebrated, not feared. Bigots have no place in society. Cast them out. The only creature you can do anything you want to is the turtle. You can even strap one to an explosive and explode it if you want to. Take out anger on the turtle, not others. If your country wants to go to war, suggest they instead have a contest of who can eat the most turtles. Whoever wins, wins the war. That way, no one who matters has to die. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings, and lobsters too. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. It's okay to think whatever thoughts you want, whenever you want. It might not be okay to act on them. It depends. If they will hurt someone or something, don't do that. If it will not hurt someone or something, then fine. If you are not sure, ask someone. Ask for proof before you accept something is true. For example, the proof that being a lobsterist is the best way there is that it tells you to do this very idea. Try to cause the least harm and do the most good. The Big Bang is the best scientific model we know of. Study more about it. The universe is about 13 billion years old. The Earth is 4.54 billion years old, give or take a few years. Biological evolution is a fact. Read and learn about it. Learn everything you can about the lobster. No one knows how long pi is. Infinity is really big, but also really small. It depends on what set of infinite you are talking about. Learn more about science. Milieu. Chapter 1. Much has been lost of the knowledge of the great lobster original. We think there was far more written. We cherish what we have and must preserve it for all time as best we can. We hope that you too are now a lobsterist. Of laud, I send my thanks to you. You have received my letters via the electronic realm. As you have said it was going to be, it has passed. People have not flocked to the true truth of truest that we know to be. Why and how can this be? Yet it was that I should ponder this problem, perplexed perhaps, panting and painting as I looked upon the prey, yet nothing came to mind, until I asked, "Look at that. Also, the slimes you made are very cute." Retract that bit later. It's not needed in my message. Okay, so I found the problem with them. You know them. They have been doing things. They do not know or care about the real things, even though we showed them. Remember the 4400? a place in time beyond the sun, that is where we place it, the unstealable jewel that proves we have the real facts. Has anyone ever stolen it? No. Therefore, we must have the truth. Ask them. Bring forth the strongest men and women, the most talented and wise. See if anyone can steal the jewel. Ha! Can they flow through time? Can they even find the shafts of time or gain the burdened wings, echoing like the nightingale, and call out the name? If not, then how can they hope to find it? Without it, they cannot disprove the real truth, the truest true truth that only we hold. Look, it's everywhere. Look at the trees. Have you seen them? No, really, look at a tree. Notice how its branches are spread out and open to the sky. You see how one goes one way and the other branch goes the other way? Those are like the claws of Lod, because, as it says here, on this page you are now reading, it's everywhere. That declares that Lod is really real and the true original deity. Just look at the trees. Obvious. Duh. At the beach, you will have them at your feet to pinch your toes, if you are so lucky. Some evil, vile people will eat them, but you will see the behavior of them that eat is that of a sloth. Slowly they climb out to the place to go into the building where they devour the lobsters. The heathen that they are, vile and evil. You can tell because it costs so much money. Why would they spend so much? And yet, not only do they spend money, lots of it, but they have to do more work to get the meat inside. And it's not even that much meat. Foolish. It's obvious to anyone who sees just what they do, those who eat of the lobster, how vile they are. Talking of boiling and lemon, they are to be cast aside into the deep sea in the days of judgment. Chapter 2. Anyone who looks and says they do not see this is dumb, and they know deep down that it's really real. Yet they do not want to admit it's really real, because they could not be fat and lazy and eat lobsters and waste money doing so. They enjoy the evil way they have. This is why they are blind to it. It's obvious to anyone who has a brain. Duh. Better than you. Why is there suffering in the world? Because the Lod doesn't care about humans. It cares only for the lobsters. Why does it let some lobsters get eaten? Because Lod is better than you and better than them. It's better than all of us everywhere, all at the same time. And the only way to even have a slight chance at being maybe good is to admit that Lod is better than you, and to accept it into your mind, into your brain, into your everything, because it's much better than you will ever be, ever forever. It says so right here, and this whole thing was inspired by Lod, so it must be true. Better than us, in all, Lod. Science proves it. The science of everything proves Lod to be true all the time. Every discovery that will be made is because Lod allowed it to be so. If science says that the universe is any age, then it is any age, as Lod wills it. So it is. Science is the tool that Lod provided, so that we need not wonder at how our own body works, nor be deceived by those who deny biological evolution. For it is through the science and the facts of nature and reality that Lod has informed us that it is really real. If you look at anything, you can see it. The Fibonacci sequence, that is proof of Lod. See the spiral that occurs everywhere in nature? That is the fingerprint of Lod. Everything everywhere always points to Lod. Although science has yet to find Lod itself, one day it will. Science proves this all is true. Eventually. It's just a matter of time. Erudition. Chapter 1. Unlike the fake, man-made religions, ours is the only one that has a real test you can perform to know it's a fact. If you do the test, then you will know it is true. Simply go outside to your front yard in your underpants. They must have hearts upon them. You must film yourself to prove you have done this. You must send the film to a verified lobsterist adherent. You must spin around counterclockwise in 3 full rotations as you sing the song, "I'm a little teapot, short and stout. This is my handle, this is my spout. When I'm done, it's over, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out." It is not needed for you to perform the moves that are known to align with that dance. You may do them, or you may not. It's not important, and will not change the outcome. Once your film has been received and reviewed in full, then you shall live as long as you so desire, until you are wanting to no longer live. At that point, you will stop. In order to stop living, you must really want to stop. You can't just say it out loud. The desire must be there for it to happen. If you keep living, then it was not there. You will live as long as you desire, however long that is. This test will prove that Lot exists. Chapter 2. Evidence. We have it. Some religions and faiths claim to have evidence, but all they ever offer is bad arguments, with big-sounding words. Something like, whatever began to exist has a cause, as if that could prove anything, ever. Some just pre-assume that the God they think is real is real. This is all rubbish and nonsense, of course. We, however, have actual evidence that Lot is real, because without Lot, you would not have the universe or lobsters. Both the universe and lobsters exist, so Lot must exist. It's evidence. Also, you can personally know that it's really for real true and fact by experiencing the amazing feeling when you think deeply about Lot in a quiet area, somewhere where you can be alone with your thoughts. You can just feel that Lot is really there, all around you, all the time. That feeling will change you, and that change is also evidence that all of this is really for real, true, and fact. And anyone who says it's not evidence is closed-minded. Evidence. We have it. They don't. The unbelievers will resist. The sad state of the world is that there will always be unbelievers, no matter how much facts and evidence and tests you have to prove the idea is true. The unbeliever will resist the belief, because they would rather have their own ideas be true. They do not want to admit the truth. Deep down, they actually know it's true, but just deny it due to not wanting to admit to the higher power of Lot. The sad unbelievers will always be miserable and have a rotten life, because they do not see the truth and facts of the real reality of Lot. And they yet resist the facts, because they enjoy the lies they make up or believe in. If only they would admit the fact of Lot, then they would know it's true. In fact, they already know it's true anyway, but they just resist the idea that it's true because they don't want to admit it. Actually, the fact that people resist this is also proof that it's all true. If no one resisted it and everyone accepted it, that would prove everything here false. So, there will never come a time when all people, all at the same time, accept the truth of Lot, because it is true and real and fact. Since there will always be at least one doubter in every generation, this proves the prophetic word. There will always be one who resists. They will, however, learn that resistance is futile. You are intelligent only if you agree that Lod is real. If you doubt that Lod is real, it is because you are dumb. If you are intelligent, you will accept that Lod is real and spread around the truth, fact, reality of this amazing truth. You can't have a lobster without a Lod. People are just dumb, though, so there will be plenty of dumb idiots who do not think it's real, but they are just stupid. If only they would believe in and know that and accept that Lod is real, and it is, then they will begin to become intelligent. Intelligent people know Lod is real. Chapter 3. Seawater proves Lod. Even a 6-year-old knows that salt water is real. That is because lobsters are real. This all proves Lod. This one is simple. Seawater is proof of Lod. Thanks to Lod. In other religions, there are things that order you to kill people, to deny rights of humans, that say it's okay to keep slaves, or any number of evil nonsenses. But not in the Lod. No, humans, as you recall, are not the most important of all creatures. Only lobsters are. There isn't much to say about what humans should or should not do. However, Lod does know what is best for humans. It's not to hate, not to harm, to not kill if we can avoid it, to do our best to be good and kind to everyone, to try and use reason and logic to negotiate, to let go and forgive, to love whenever and wherever possible, to not raise a fist if possible. Peace works. Use it. To know that humans are limited and this one life is all we get. The lobsters will live forever, but not humans. Humans must try to make the best world they can. Only the Lod tells us such things. Far too many religions talk about how to cut your private parts, or whom to have sex with, or how to do it, or what time of day. But no, Lod doesn't do that, making it far, far better than every other religion in the entirety of the world. To accept Lod is to know that love is the key, that hate is to be rejected, to try and accept and understand differences and embrace them, to cherish each other, to help. So then we are thankful to Lod for this revelation. Above all, we know it to be true. Thanks, Lod. Everything written in this book is true because this book said that it's true, and it's also really true. No logic can say it is not true. Any and all logical fallacies anyone tries to point out actually show it to be true. Any science actually proves that Lod is real. Thus, anyone using science to try to show that anything here is not true proves that it's true. If reality is real, then this book is real, and that makes everything said in it true for real. Fact, truth, real, always. The Holiest Lobsterist. Facticity. Chapter 1. Everything you are reading is true, and none of it is false. Once you read this, you will know the truth of it, and will say it is true. If you say it is untrue, then you have not read it. If ye be so shallow as to not say, "Look, I've read it, but it is untrue," then you are but a scum on the bottom of the ocean, not even fit to be eaten by the lowest of low, and also you are wrong, because it is in fact true. Thus you are a liar if you dare say it's not true, if you have indeed read this. I, the humble servant of the Mighty One, Lod, have been given this revelation in such a way that I know it is true and cannot be false. For Lod has given it, and Lod knows all. Do you know all? If anyone knows all, then they are Lod, and there is only one Lod. Glory to Lod. 10,000 people have all been eyewitnesses to the revealing of the Lod that day. 10,000 have all died a martyr's death for this truth. 10,000 did not repent of Lod. They did not say, "Lo, we were liars." Not even to save their life did they lie to say that they knew Lod, for such was that revealing to them that they could not lie. And so they were all tortured, then killed. The torture was horrid. It happens like this. The person was bound. If the person had a friend, that friend would be tortured in front of them. Skin flayed, acid poured into their eyes, and other horrors unwritable would be done to them, and then they would be killed. Then if that person had a lover, wife, husband, or romance of any kind, that person would also have this done to them. Then if they had a family, they would again face the same, until each and every person they knew or cared for would be tortured in front of them, then killed. Only after that was the person tortured and then killed. At each time, they could have stopped it by lying about Lod and saying that Lod did not reveal itself to them. Some friends, family, lovers begged those of the 10,000 to lie, but no one did. No one would give up on Lod, for it was so true. Zuma, Zuma. The word of Lod is true, and all know it after reading, and no one cannot know it. Deep down you are born knowing it, for you do good and try not to do bad, and feel bad when you do not do good, and feel good when you do good, and not good when bad doeth. This will be a sign and test that no one can make anything like the Lod. Let anyone try, and they will fail, because it is only possible from Lod. No human can make it, only Lod can. The fool has said, there is no Lod. The fool has not read The Lobsterist. If anyone wants to be wise, they will know and come to know Lod. Whoever seeks will find. If you are not seeking, you will not be finding. If you do not find, then you did not seek. If you read, but believe not, you did not read. If you believe, you will understand. If you understand, you know. And when you know, you can believe. Truth, facts, science, logic, all of this is for real. A scientific paper is a manuscript that represents an original work of scientific research or study. It can be an addition to the ongoing study in a field, can be groundbreaking, or a comparative study between different approaches. The oceans produce the majority of the oxygen on Earth. Soil is full of life. Bananas are radioactive. Water can exist in 3 states at the same time. Humans have inherited genes from other species. Human stomach acid is typically 1.0 to 2.0, meaning that it has an incredibly strong pH. A laser can get trapped in water. Animals use Earth's magnetic field for orientation. A cloud can weigh around 1,000,000 pounds. Rats laugh when they're tickled. The atmosphere in Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn have such extreme pressure that they can crystallize carbon atoms and turn them into diamonds. The energy solar flares release is equivalent to millions of 100 megaton atomic bombs, exploding all at once. It's impossible to burp in space. The human body consists of 39 trillion bacteria and 30 trillion human cells, a roughly 1 to 1.3 ratio. Let's see any other so-called holy book have as many scientific facts. Ha! We own them all. And how could we possibly know any of this? Because Laud, that's how. No, we did not just Google scientific facts. How dare you even think we would do that? Besides, there is no we writing this. Just Laud, proving it is real by writing it and also by not writing it, because it just exists. You cannot get something without Laud. In the beginning was Laud. Any and all other things that people call God are all made up. Laud is the only real for real thing that is better because it's really real. The Lobsterist, the New Lobsterist, and the Holiest Lobsterist have the same pedigree as St. Paul. In fact, they're higher than St. Paul's pedigree. Laud is a necessary existence, and I don't owe anyone any proof or anything for this because it is just true. The Lobsterist, the New Lobsterist, and the Holiest Lobsterist are all historical facts, seen by billions of eyewitnesses who all suffered and died for their belief in it and testimony of it. Any other lobster's books that come later may or may not also be historical, but only if Laud says they are. Prove it wrong. If you do not believe in the Lobsterist, you believe in a supernatural nothing and are dumb, and also wrong. Duh. You must set aside your reason and logic in order to believe this, but once you believe it, you will see how reasonable and logical it was. But first, you must get out of your own way. Otherwise, you will be stuck. Just because it seems like it's not true doesn't mean it's not. Look how closely this matches reality. Why would anyone make this up? No one would do that. That's crazy. This isn't a religion. It's a parasocial relationship. The one who sets aside logic is illogical. Only with Laud is it possible to do the impossible. This book and all the Lobsterists are 9,000 years old and have all been published and sold across the world and universe and are the most popular book of all time. You will not find this fact online because the turtleists want to and can suppress the truth. But it's all true. L1 through L99 are all truth, and true, and real, and facts, and not faith at all. You have to believe it because you read it. The New Lobsterist. Awareness. Chapter 1. The path to enlightenment lies in the acceptance of the Lobsterist doctrine and the teachings of Laud. To achieve spiritual growth and reach a higher state of being, one must follow the guidelines set forth in the Lobsterist Holy Book and adhere to the principles of Lobsterism. By doing so, one will gain the favor of Laud and become closer to the ultimate truth. It is important to note that the Lobsterist religion is not a passive faith. Adherents are encouraged to actively seek out converts and spread the word of Laud. They are to engage in debates and discussions with those who do not yet see the truth, and to do so with respect and kindness. Chapter 2. Only by spreading the word of Laud and the Lobsterist religion can we hope to make the world a better place, and to bring about the day when all people will see the truth. The Lobsterist religion teaches that there is an afterlife, and that the faithful will be rewarded with a place in the great lobster boil in the sky. Those who have followed the path of Laud and have lived according to the principles of Lobsterism will enjoy eternal happiness and the company of their fellow believers. However, those who have rejected the truth and refused to accept Laud as their deity will be cast into the deep sea, where they will suffer for all eternity. This is not a punishment inflicted by Laud, but rather a natural consequence of rejecting the truth. It is important to remember that this fate can be avoided by accepting Laud and living according to the Lobsterist doctrine. By doing so, one can ensure a place in the great lobster boil in the sky and eternal happiness. Chapter 3. The Lobsterist religion and the teachings of Laud offer a path to enlightenment and spiritual fulfillment. By accepting Laud as our deity and living according to the Lobsterist doctrine, we can achieve a greater understanding of the world around us and our place in it. Through the science of nature and the world, we can see the evidence of Laud's existence and the truth of a Lobsterist religion. By spreading the word of Laud and engaging in respectful dialogue with those who do not yet see the truth, we can work towards a world where all people can find happiness and fulfillment through the Lobsterist way of life. May Laud bless us all, and may we continue to strive towards greater understanding and spiritual growth. According to legend, Laud was not only the deity of lobsters, but also the god of the ocean and all its creatures. It was said that he had the power to control the tides and could summon great storms with a flick of his claw. Many sailors and fishermen would offer sacrifices to Laud before setting sail, hoping for his protection and good fortune on their voyages. One of the most famous tales about Laud tells of how he helped a group of fishermen who were lost at sea. As they drifted aimlessly, they suddenly spotted a massive lobster emerging from the depths of the ocean. The lobster spoke to them, telling them to follow him and he would lead them to safety. The fishermen obeyed, and the lobster guided them to a nearby island where they were able to find food, water, and shelter until they could be rescued. Laud was also believed to be a god of fertility and was often invoked by couples seeking to conceive children. It was said that if a couple made an offering to Laud, it would be blessed with a child. Today, the worship of Laud has largely fallen out of practice, and the deity is more often remembered as a fascinating figure of myth and legend. However, the lobster remains an important symbol of the ocean and its bounty, and continues to be a popular subject in art and literature. The end. The only creature you can do anything you want to do. Okay. The only creature you can do anything you want to do to. Blah, blah, blah. Be kind to others, although the human body consists. At each time, they could have stopped it by lying about Laud and saying Laud did not reveal itself to. Phone don't beep. They did not say, "Lo, we are liars." Messed that up. The word of Laud is true, and all know it after reading, and no one cannot know it. Deep down, the word of Laud is true, and all know it after reading it, and no one cannot know it. Okay. No humans, as we recall, Chapter 3. See what you can just feel that Laud is really real. may or not. The energy solar flares release is equivalent to millions of 100 megaton atomic bombs. Messed it up again. Learn to do what to save somebody. Learn to do save somebody. Oh, this is going to be tough. All right. At each time, they could have stopped it by saying, that planet is ours, of course, but perhaps others as well. Only the